Yo, JD here, Tyrolinus, and as you can see, well, it has been quite a while. I think it's been almost 3 weeks since I've done a video, and you're probably asking quite a few questions on why that is, and I'll be talking about that at the start of this video, and also about AOR, my situation at AOR, and all this stuff as well. But as you can see, we're at Monza here today. I'm not quite sure what round this is. Spa, didn't upload that because I just drove pretty much just like one of my worst performances ever, and yeah, that just wasn't worthy of an upload for me. And yeah, the reason why I've been away is because I've just had so much going on with my life, to be honest. I've just mainly work stuff, so outside of work itself, having to go away quite a bit. I'm been away a lot. Well, yeah, away quite a bit in a week, and so I haven't really been home that much. And just other things as well, some good things most of the time, which just kept me away. And yeah, I just haven't really had the time or just drive really to play. And speaking of drive, my AOR results this season is pretty much the reason for that, because I don't think it's a secret that I just don't enjoy playing this game online and for league racing. I think that's pretty obvious. And the reason for that is just a fair number of factors that I just won't really go into because I just don't really need to do that. But the main reason is that I just don't really put any effort into practicing or anything like that, because I just don't really have that much free time, and I just don't want to be using my free time to do that. And that's the reason why I've just been quite inconsistent in my results. I believe the pace is always there, as we can see in the time trial, and in the race pace particularly. Even without most of the season, should have won a race in China and maybe Silverstone as well if we just didn't bottle the qualifying. But yeah, it is what it is, and the main thing is really because I just haven't really put any effort, because for this race I think I did 2 laps of practice. And that's not even a joke. I think I came on at like 7:15, and the race is at 8, and the lobby's open at like 30:30. So I just did that 2 qualifying laps and probably like 4 laps in the first stint, and that was it. And when you're racing in any league, it doesn't matter who the drivers are, that's just not good enough. And the reason why I was so successful mainly, or most of the time, in 2012, 13 and 14 is because obviously I feel I have a natural rhythm at the games as we go in deep there, which kind of cost me on this qualifying app because it was actually going quite well till then. But going back to my reason for my inconsistency is just because on those games, I just played the game so much. I was so in tune with what I needed to do in a race situation and then qualifying and everything. And there are factors in this game which I feel with the cars, like the equal cars, and just having 1 lap prime tires and tire wear glitch, those factors definitely do don't help it too much. But for me, it's just the effort, and compared to other games, 2013, 12 and 14, I did like 4 or 5 socials a week. I was playing the game all the time online in sprint mode, and since the online is not that great in the past couple of years, which I think is going to be something that really needs to be improved on, I'm just not going to play the game as much, and that is it, really. That is it. If I played it as much as the other games, then I would be 100% guaranteed that I'd be doing so much better than what I'm doing. So even without other factors that I won't really need to mention. But you can see we're at the start of this race now, so we've got 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go now. And we are starting in 9th place because that mistake going to Ascari, even though it didn't look like a big mistake, cost me about 3 to 4 tenths in the last sector compared to most people. So that really didn't help too much at all. But we're going to go into this first corner, staying out of trouble quite nice in this one. And with the contact model in this game, really trying to avoid people as much as possible. Just do not want to be anywhere near people. And sorry if my voice hurts. Well, my voice hurts. Voice is a bit weird. It's because I've actually got my wisdom tooth coming through again at the moment, so I will try and talk as clearly as possible whilst also talking about just other stuff which I just normally tend to do in highlights here. But we're in 7th place, so we're going to go down the inside of Alonso, which I don't recognise that name, so he's obviously someone new in the league. And that's us to 6th place. Oh no, actually Alonso's in front of us, Ciara is behind us. And we actually put on 4.3 wings for this race. I was meant to be running 4.2, but for some reason I just didn't pull it down to 2 on my rear wing. So we're running with not the preferred setup, but still a decent setup around here. And I was actually feeling quite good, despite just how, just pretty much just jumping on the game just like a week after my last race with that just nothing. I was actually quite happy I was in this kind of position at the moment, something I wasn't really expecting too much. But we're going onto the main straight now, and the slipstream in this game as well is another little thing that I just have a bit of complaint of. And yeah, I'll go into the things that I'm just not happy with really in this game. And the main thing is mainly it's the handling. I just don't feel it's like just a natural handling anymore, especially on a controller anyway. It just doesn't really feel that natural, and I just don't enjoy myself racing against people because you just got that, you got the slipstream, you got the tyre wear glitch, only one lap, one set of tyres for prime runs, when I've never been like a banker lap qualifier, so I've never really done my fastest lap on the first lap. I think if I had 2 or 3 runs, then my qualifying would be actually really good, but it is what it is, and it's the same for everyone else. And just with the car situation as well, for me, just equal cars. There's no car that's faster or faster straight line or got more grip or anything like that, which I think that actually was the case in other games, so that's a good thing. But I just feel just the car feeling and just the characteristics of cars is just so different, and if you're in a car that doesn't suit your driving style, you go find it very, very tough. And yeah, I think I'd be able to definitely combat that if I practice more. In the race, it actually seems to be okay, but when you're on the rich mix fuel and you just haven't really done that much practice, it's just very, very hard to really just be confident. And that's the thing this season, I just haven't felt confident in being able to just push at all compared to other games where I was actually always on the limit of myself, and I just couldn't do that. That could have been quite bad actually. We could have actually lost our wing there, but just about getting into 5th place behind Wycombs and Tyrrell Martin, who I just haven't raced with at all this season. Only a little bit of China when I think he made a mistake or something in the wet, and that's the only time. So it's nice to be behind a familiar name again and kind of near the front as well, which again, coming into this, I just wasn't expecting at all. I was expecting to start 15th or something. Well, we did start 9th, but nowhere near the front as we are. We're almost in a podium position here, so yeah, I just didn't expect that. But I really hope people who watch this video just don't take it the wrong way, where they're saying, oh, you just show no respect to the league by not practicing or anything like that. Honestly, I love AOR, and they've done so much for me and my channel. I really hope they don't see it as a sign of disrespect, but I'm just being honest. I just don't enjoy playing this game online competitively because I just feel most of the time it's kind of a lottery most of the time, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, and I'm just not really going to put myself through the stress of practicing when that's happening. And we're going in so deep, but we managed to just about keep it on the track. So I was actually really enjoying myself, as much as I'm maybe ranting a little bit in this video. I was actually really enjoying myself this time in this race, at least, as we managed to get a nice slipstream on Wycombs going into the chicane, and that's us into 3rd place. So we are into a podium position, but we'll be able to see the oversteer, which seems to kick in quite a bit, which is what I get in qualifying in this car, and the reason why I just find it so painfully difficult to drive. But we are in 3rd place somehow in this race, and I just couldn't believe it. And at this point, I was really psyching myself up, because before the race I just wasn't really up for it or anything at all. But now we're in this position and we're feeling quite good on the pace. The leaders aren't even that far ahead. I know I wasn't really thinking I was going to catch them or anything, but I was thinking, like, maybe if I could secure 3rd place, then that would be a win to me, to be honest. So we're going to try and give Martin the slipstream. So they're really trying to force Wycombs to be side by side, because the more they hold each other up, and if we can get away from the slipstream, because the slipstream is so powerful around here, it's just crazy how powerful it actually is. So if we can break the slipstream, then they won't be able to get away from each other because they're so close to each other. Then we should be able to create a gap, as there's actually a ghost car of Stu on the side of the track there. So if we can break the slipstream, you can see the arrows. It looks like they're going slightly side by side. If we can break the slipstream, then we really should be in a good position. But you can see now Wycombs is behind us, and he's going to get a really big toe on us. And yeah, there's nothing really he can do. And that's the thing is just a little bit frustrating in this game where I feel you can be, nailing in the corners better than the guy behind, but even if they're a second or more behind, as long as they're not a second slower than you really, then they're going to be able to actually hang on to you. And in other games like 2013, even though Slipstream's always been powerful in every F1 game, but in those kind of games, it really was down to your driving. If you're on older tyres, you could actually pull away from someone if you're just driving better than them, getting a better exit, better traction in the traction zones. But in this game, it just doesn't really seem to be the case, which is just kind of frustrating because that's we want to see like a clear field, and you do in qualifying. People at the front who could do the qualifying, if you start at the front, you're going to have a good race, but if you don't, then there's not really too much you can do in this game if you look at the results between qualifying and the race results at the end, to be honest. So that's the thing that's frustrating, but we're trying to get out of the slipstream. So we're trying to help Martin get the slipstreams just so they can stay side by side, because we just want them to battle as much as possible in this race. And another reason really, which I know this sounds kind of like a depressing video, but it's just the handling in the beta before the game. So when we tested the game, I actually went to test the game myself. The handling was absolutely insane. It was absolutely amazing. The car felt, you could feel every inch of the car. It didn't feel lightweight or anything. You had to really, really pay attention. And both handling are difficult, because I'm not saying this handling is easy, because it's not easy at all. But I just feel it's just quite unnatural, a little bit unpredictable, the way you have to drive, like the super short shift and all this. It's just, it's just not something that really suits me. Whereas the handling before, where it was super hard, and a lot of people were complaining about how hard it was, it felt just a lot more immersive to me, and just really, you could really feel where you're on a limit. Whereas this kind of handling just kind of feels just where you're just really lightweight. You just can't really feel the car at all, in my opinion. And it just feels more towards F1 2015. It feels like it's gone a step towards that again, which, again, it wasn't a secret to anyone that I just really didn't like that handling model. So we're going to go into the pits now. We're just behind Ciaru, and we're going to go into the pits, trying to stop on the line, and we have got a drive-through penalty. So, yeah, that is our race over. And that is the case, of just not practicing, because I didn't do a single practice run of going to the pits, which you need to do in this game. I think we went about 10 miles an hour over or something, so quite a bit over as well. And yeah, so we're going to pit for tyres, and we just got to pit next lap for well, not for anything, but just driving through the pits at 20 miles an hour. So yeah, that is pretty frustrating, because I felt I could have fought for a podium. And with the slipstream, it would have been pretty easy to hang on to cars in front with the slipstream. I mean, with the amount of fuel we had, because we actually fueled up quite heavy, just to anticipate if we got clear air, just to run in rich quite a bit. That's what my plan was really for this race. So we're going to go past the pit straight now, and we'll be able to see Ciaru. Obviously, we'll be out a little bit further ahead of him when we should have done, because we carried too much speed into the pits. But that's us into a net third place, this would be. And yeah. I wasn't really too annoyed, because I just can't be annoyed myself, and there's no excuses for this race. It was just simply just me just not doing enough, just not playing the game. That's pretty much what it was. So I can't really have any complaints of what happened there at all. And just with the other things, again, I just hope people don't take it the wrong way or anything. That's just me being completely honest, and I hope that it's not disrespectful, because I know how much effort people do to put into this league, and obviously the game itself and everything, because I went and tested it. So I know exactly how much effort it is, but I just feel if the online was really buffed up, which I think it really does need to be for F1 2017, then it'd be absolutely insane. And yeah, I would just be playing the game a lot more online, which is just what I want to do. But you can see now we are serving our drive-through penalty, and yeah, 50 miles an hour, which felt like 50 years going through this pit lane. And yeah, to be honest, the rest of this video is not really too much happening, because I just drove really poorly after this. I just didn't drive well, and it actually went wet at the end. And having done no wet practice either, it was just recipe for disaster. So it's not that the pace I don't feel is there, because I've demonstrated that through the season, and obviously with the time trials and everything I've done, and all the other videos and stuff I've done as well. But just when you're not playing the game really, it's just you're not going to progress anywhere. So we're coming across now, and I think we went off the track a few times in 11th place. We made up some positions, but you know, that is our Monza, and it could have been a podium position, as that is just a cherry on the cake as well. So we destroy a car after the race. So yep, that is just my race in a nutshell there. So sorry for the delay on YouTube. I really plan to be back with more consistent uploads again. I've actually got career modes ready with the wheel, which I'm really hoping to do, and I'm just going to do some just random online sprint mode lobbies because I know that's quite popular, and doing that as well. So thank you so much for people who may have missed my channel, and maybe a little bit, so apologies for this ranty-ish kind of video. Not really my intention, but just trying to make my thoughts clear and just how I feel really at the moment. And I'm not saying this isn't a good game, because it is a good game, and I know a lot of people enjoy it, and I feel respect people who do enjoy it. But for me online, it's just not one of my most enjoyable games, which is the reason why I've just been so inconsistent in the race and all this stuff as well. So that is just what's going on, and hopefully you enjoyed my first 7 laps in that race pretty much. And hopefully next race, Singapore, a track I do actually enjoy even on this game. So hopefully I'm putting a little bit more effort this time and see what we can do. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Cheers.